Welcome to YOUCANIC. Today we have a GLK class 2014 vehicle here to go over the fluids and how you check them and add to if you need to. So today on this GLK, this is your reservoir for your brake fluid, and it's going to have it has a marking here and here, and minimum at the bottom, max at top. We want to make sure our fluid's in between there. Now this is very clean fluid, so you got to kind of shake it and see, and it does. You can see that it's in there when you shake it, and so it's at the max. If it was low, the way you would add fluid to it is you would remove this cap, open it up, and you would put fluid in there. This says to put a .4, and it suggests to use a new sealed container to put in here so that you don't have any moisture that's added to your brake fluid, because that's not going to work out very well. And that's how you add fluid to your brake, check and add to the brake reservoir if it happens to be low. Most of the time you won't really ever have to touch this very often, except for if your brakes are really worn and you've added them and you've bled them out, then you would really add some to it. But you really won't touch that too much. We have a reservoir here that we'll take for our washing fluid. It's got a little washer symbol on it, and a blue cap. Blue cap generally signify your washing fluid. So you would just pop the cap, whichever type of washing fluid you want to put in there. They've got the Bug X, they've got the Rain X, they've got whatever you. Just make sure you're putting actual washing fluid in here and nothing else, because other things won't combat, and then you can have a really slimy window, which would make it that you can't see very well. So we put our washing fluid in here. You can fill it up. You'll see the level when it gets up here. There's no gauge or dipstick to check that. You just visually see it when it fills up. Now when it's full, then you just go ahead and reapply the cap here. Make sure it's on there good and snug so you don't lose, so dirt and debris doesn't get in there and you don't lose your washing fluid. We're going to check our radiator fluid on a GLK class of Mercedes-Benz. This is a 2014 GLK class. We have a radiator reservoir right here. We're going to make sure that we don't open this when it is hot, because it can steam, it can burn you. But this car has been sitting here, it's cooled down, so we can go ahead and twist this cap off. And this is where you would check how full it is, and you can see that it's right there. Not that far. You see that this is good, so it's right within there. So we definitely have extra in here in your overflow, your reservoir tank, right? And this is where you would add coolant. So you'd add coolant in here, whatever the manufacturer recommends, whether it's green, whether it's blue, whether it's pink, whatever this your GLK requires and the Mercedes says to put in, that's what you would add to your cooling system. So you would just top it in here. Sometimes these are see-through and you can see a line. This isn't, so you would just top it to where you see a good level, and then make sure you put the cap back on, because it should maintain to be a closed system, because otherwise you'll just have blowout and you'll lose all your coolant, and that's not what we want. But that is how you add your coolant to your GLK class Mercedes.